I'm Veronique.
And I'm Silvia.
Welcome to the High Vibes and the Mind podcast,
where multicultural moms connect.
Hi everyone, welcome back to the show. Today we are going to talk about belly dancing and how it can help with bladder leaking for women. Our guest, Jennifer Sobel, has been a professional belly dancer and instructor for 20 years. She draws upon her years of dance experience and knowledge as a sports personal trainer to create fitness programs focused on strengthening the pelvic floor muscles. Her newest program, Bellydance Bounce, combines rebounding and belly dancing for a 10-minute boredom and fat-busting workout that helps kick incontinence to the curb. The best-selling The Bellydance Solution, released in 2019, has over 35,000 women around the world shimmying their way to relief from leaky bladders for the first time in decades. Let's hear it from Jennifer. And don't forget to subscribe, like, or leave a review. It helps tremendously grow our podcast.
Hi everyone, welcome back to the show. High Vibes and a Mic. I'm Silvia. I'm here with Veronique and with our guest, Jennifer Sobel, who I already know. We took meditation classes together, so she's an old friend of mine, and I'm excited to interview her and to know more about her business and everything. So welcome, Jennifer. How are you?
Thank you so much. I'm really happy to be here. I'm doing well. Thanks.
Oh, exciting. So tell us a little bit about your background and what led you to start your business.
Yeah. So I'll give this short version. I actually started my professional career in Chinese medicine as an acupuncturist. I did that for about 5 years, and then I was a personal trainer. And then the thing that I've done the longest is that I've been a professional belly dancer. And I actually started doing that professionally at the same time that I started practicing acupuncture. And my passion for belly dance just kind of took over. And it was my dream to turn my belly dancing into a full-time business. And I really struggled to do that for a long time until I launched my digital marketing business. And I learned about how to create and market products. And at that time, after getting a lot of experience working with clients, I was at the gym one day and I was like, all right, finally, I'm going to create my first belly dance product and I'm going to market my own thing. And I was at the gym and I saw this commercial come on for a bladder leaking drug. And in that moment, I made a connection with an event that had happened maybe 3 years earlier, where one of my students, belly dance students, came up to me after class and she said, "Can I tell you something?" And I was like, "What?" She had like a huge smile on her face. And I said, "Yeah, what's going on?" And she said, "Well, I just wanted to tell you that since I've been belly dancing, I don't have bladder leaking anymore." And in that moment, when I put the two together, I was like, because I had completely forgotten about it until I saw that commercial. And I thought, I wonder if there's more women who have this problem that belly dance could help them. And as I researched it, I was shocked to find that it's actually one of the most common problems that women will have in their lifetime. It's like 1 out of 3 women in their life will have bladder leaking. Sometimes the statistic I've seen is even higher, 40%. And, as you know, a lot of women struggle with this after they have children, but it can also happen to women as they get closer to menopause or just for no reason at all. So I did my research, I found that out, and then I ran ads to a free video for belly dancing for bladder leaking. A lot of people wanted that free video. And I thought, well, let me create this product. And that product became the Bellydance Solution. And that's my signature best-selling course for strengthening the pelvic floor and relieving bladder leaking with belly dancing. And I've probably had 35,000 women join that program since I launched it in 2019.
35,000?
Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah, yeah. And I
Right.
appeared in Women's World magazine twice, that program, and the story of two of my students who completely eliminated their their bladder leaking with belly dancing. And then I was in the magazine First for Women just a couple months ago.
So there was a big need then. Yeah, it's a good niche.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
because it is a true struggle. Yeah,
Mhm.
all of us, I think.
It is a struggle. And here's the thing that I've learned throughout the years talking with my students, with the women who join my program, is I think the saddest thing about it is that this is an issue that's kept in the dark for women.
That's
It's
right.
something that pretty much every woman feels embarrassed about and ashamed of, and that she usually keeps to herself. Some women don't even tell their best friends. 1 out of 3 women don't even tell their own doctor that they have bladder leaking. And so it's just like, this is such a common problem. It's not women's fault. It's something that happens. But because there's so much shame and embarrassment attached to it, it causes women to not find the tools, the resources, the solutions that they need so that they can live a life free from this problem.
Yeah, it's the
Oh, so-
same with the menopause or like postpartum.
Yeah.
Women just don't talk about it. It's like, when you're starting the perimenopause process and all the struggles that you go through, we don't actually have conversations about it. And the leaking, it's definitely one that I see at the gym. We're just like, we start doing jumping jacks. And then one runs to the bathroom, and then I'm like, okay, gotta go to the bathroom, come back, because I think my bladder has to be completely empty to do jumping jacks, like without any, but like nobody says anything. It's just like, okay, cool, like you do that.
Right. Or it's accepted as something that is just normal, right?
Yeah.
As something that
yeah.
like, oh, I guess I'm just dealing with this now for the rest of my life, and this has become my new normal. And I really want to give women the message that no, this is not your new normal. And whether it's you're doing belly dancing or you're doing pelvic floor physical therapy or whatever it might be, please don't accept this as your new normal, because there's women all over the world that are not going on the trampoline with their kids because they're worried about leaking, right? Or going out and playing soccer with their kids and missing out on these memories that they could have. So it's not something you just have to deal with. That is like the main message. It's not something you have to deal with, and it's not something that you should be embarrassed about.
Yeah, that's right. So how does it strengthen the pelvic floor, belly dancing, the exercises that you provide?
Yeah, that's a great question. So, and I've actually spoken with some physical therapists who have taken my program to get a greater understanding from their perspective. But there's something about the belly dance movements that just organically, from doing those movements, help to strengthen the pelvic floor, because we use a lot of our pelvis, we use our hips, and all of those muscles are connected. It's not like they work in isolation. So when you move your pelvis, when you move your hips, you're naturally engaging those muscles. And then the other thing is that was interesting that one of the physical therapists pointed out to me is that the awareness that you gain of that part of your body, as well as your posture, helps your pelvic floor muscles to be in better balance, because bladder leaking isn't always caused by a weak pelvic floor. Sometimes it's because the pelvic floor doesn't actually know how to relax. And because of that, it doesn't have the contraction phase.
Oh, I see.
So it's like a muscle that you're constantly tightening, and it becomes it can't contract anymore. So it's kind of a myth, I would say, that it's always due to weakness, which is why Kegel exercises don't work for every woman, because the root cause for some women is not weakness. It's actually what they call hypertonicity, which is too much contraction.
Because of the exercises that they do, too much Kegel exercises, or because they never had kids?
Or they could be because they're contracting all the time to keep from leaking, that then the muscles get actually too contracted. basically. And the cool thing about belly dancing, which I think is kind of like this built-in mechanism to keep that from happening, is that there's always like a strengthening and a relaxation phase in a belly dance movement. So you're always relaxing at some point in the movement, and that helps to keep the pelvic floor in better balance.
How interesting. And it's fun.
Yeah.
So that's
Yeah.
And
better
it's
than
fun.
going. Yeah.
That is, yes, that's the thing, is like, I don't know of any solution that could strengthen the pelvic floor that's actually fun, that
That's
you
right.
have a good time doing, and that has all these other cool side benefits, like getting a great workout and overall just feeling more confident in your own skin and connecting with your feminine energy.
Mm. So, do you recommend this for maybe like for even for young people who didn't have children before, who don't have kids, and can they
Oh,
start
yeah.
early? What age can you start belly dancing?
Gosh. I mean, I think, belly dancing, its roots are in Egypt.
Yeah.
And, it's very much like a cultural dance. They don't necessarily call it belly dancing, but a lot of the movements.
Mhm.
And it's just a part of what they do when they grow up. It's just a part of their culture. So just like any, I think, traditional dance, it's something you just do as from young to old, right?
So I was going to
Um,
ask, can you start older? Because
oh
can
gosh.
somebody in their 70s start doing belly dancing?
Yes. And in fact, I have
Yeah.
quite a few students who are in their 70s. And I think I even have one that's like in her 80s. And one of my
Really?
students, the one who was in the second Women's World magazine article, I think she's 75, something
Wow.
like that. And she says her husband calls her a hottie, and she really feels sexy when she does it. And so yeah, I have a ton of students that are in their 60s, 70s, and I think I even have one in her 80s as well. And it keeps you youthful.
Yeah. That's
And it's
great.
also great for your core, not just your pelvic floor. But the way that belly dancing works is you're really working your abdominal muscles from every different angle. And so it's also really good for your back as well.
The back, the core, so you can have a flat tummy if you do that.
Well, the thing about a flat tummy is that,
A flatter tummy.
yes, you can. You can by strengthening the muscles, by getting
Okay.
the muscles stronger. But there's also a myth out there that, getting a flat belly is just about the muscles, when really it's about your overall body composition.
Mhm.
So I usually avoid saying that in my marketing pieces, because I think it's a myth that I don't want to perpetuate, because we all have abs and we can all get strong abs, but having a flat belly is more about our overall body composition.
Too bad. So I was going to join your
But
program.
it can get flatter because you're going to get stronger. Yeah,
Okay.
because you're going to get stronger. Yeah.
So except for the lady who told you that she didn't have any more issue with the leaking, do you have maybe other like success stories from your students? Something that really touched you?
Yeah, I think one of the biggest success stories that I've had, and the thing is too, that a lot of people don't tell me their success stories. In fact, the woman who was in the first Women's World article, she had this incredible result, and she'd never told me about it until I was reaching out to see if anybody wanted to volunteer their success story for this article. But she'd already had a good result for a long time, but sometimes people don't think to reach out and tell you. But this woman, her name is Rhonda, and she had bladder leaking for 26 years. And she couldn't even pick up her grandkids because she would leak. And then within 3 to 4 weeks of belly dancing for 10 to 20 minutes a day, her bladder leaking was completely gone after 26 years. And I check in with her from time to time, and it's stayed that way. So, that's incredible, because she can get back to her life,
So she danced like every day, maybe like 5 times a week? How many times was she doing this? Like 20 minutes a day?
maybe less, because I have this program called the 21-day belly dance bombshell, and it's 10-minute routines. And I think that was the main program that she did. So I think she did about 10 minutes a day for 21 days.
Okay, that's easy to include in your routine in the morning.
It is. And then once you learn the movements, what I tell people is, once you learn some of these belly dance moves, just sprinkle them throughout your day while you're brushing your teeth or you're, waiting for the water to boil. Those moments really add up over time. You don't think that they do, but they really do. And it just makes those boring, dead moments in your day more fun anyways.
Yeah, it's like when they say, do your Kegels when you're sitting at your desk at the office,
Right. Yeah. And it's like,
So
we can
boring.
all do it, but it's so boring. It's so boring. And, most of us are sitting way more than we should. So if we just get up and do a few dance moves, we are going to be so much healthier and our body is going to be in better balance as a result.
Definitely.
So what are the programs that you offer, and how can they people actually log in? How is that? Is it all online, or do you offer anything in person?
Yeah, so it's pretty much all online at this point. I have my Bellydance Solution program, the bellydancesolution.com. And then I have within that program, once you purchase that, you'll have the opportunity to get the bombshell program if that's what you want. And then this year, I actually came up with a new program called Bellydance Bounce that combines belly dancing with the rebounder, the little mini trampoline.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah,
Okay.
because I discovered that rebounder, not only is it good for your lymphatic system, but it also strengthens your pelvic floor. So I thought, well, what if I combine these two things to strengthen the pelvic floor and I put it into one mashup workout? And so it's called Bellydance Bounce, and it's a 21-day program of 10-minute workout routines.
Oh,
so
10 minutes.
I have that. Yeah, because I figured that's kind of the sweet spot for people. I feel like everybody has 10 minutes to spare in a day. And it is a really fun program. We get on the rebounder, we bounce a little bit, and there's ways to modify so you don't trigger your leaking if you're not quite ready to really bounce. And then we get off, we do a little belly dancing, then we get back on the rebounder, we bounce a little bit, we get off and we belly dance, and it's just over before you even know it. And there's so many benefits to rebounding. It's also good for your balance. It's good for your bones. It's what NASA used with the astronauts to get them back acclimated to being on Earth.
Oh, wow. Yeah, balancing is very important. We kind of take for granted the importance of being able to balance well. Yeah,
you do. Yeah. And I mean, the irony is that the best way to improve your balance is to be on an out of balance surface. You don't get balance by being on a stable surface. So I've already created the videos. And then when you purchase the program, you get access to the membership area. Okay. And it's for the Bellydance Solution, Bellydance Bounce, those programs, it's lifetime access. So once you purchase once, you can access those videos forever.
That's great. Okay. Thank you.
Yeah.
Clicking now?
Yeah.
For me?
Yeah.
So fun.
Yeah.
Because it is belly dancing is beautiful, and I'm sure women doing that always feel more confident and sexier than if you don't do it, because it's such a beautiful dance. And then you can also work out, get a nice workout, and fix your bladder issues. So I think it's all
it's
a win-win.
True. It is. And, there's something that I want women to know is that you don't have to be a certain age. You don't have to be a certain body type. You don't have to have a certain skill level to be able to belly dance. Something that has been my mission throughout the years is to make belly dance as easy and approachable to every woman regardless of what you feel your skill level. Even if you think, oh, I can't dance. I have two left feet and I have no coordination. Those people too can learn how to belly dance.
And if you're doing it in your living room, nobody's looking at you.
Yeah, who cares? Exactly.
Who cares? There's nobody looking at me.
The irony is that we all have that inner critic. So even when there's no one around, we somehow find a way to criticize ourselves. And so it's not important. And this is like a drum that I beat all the time with people, is it's not about how well you do it, your technique. It's just about having fun and enjoying being in your body and connecting with yourself again. Because as long as we're in our heads, that's where all our problems start. If we can just get back into our body and connect with who we really are, then we feel grounded and we feel at peace and we remember who we really are as spirit.
Yeah, that's true. So what are other benefits that you think that belly dancing can bring to someone's like body and spirit? What do you think?
Yeah. Well, for me, I mean, obviously there's the physical benefits that we've mentioned, but for me, when I dance, it is that feeling of remembering who I am, of feeling free, of connecting with my joy, and just forgetting about whatever I'm stressing about and worrying about. Because when you're in your body, you are free. That's how I experience it. And so, for me, it's a coming home.
Yeah. Well, I can see that. And do you practice other dances as well? Or do you always like dancing, or it's just belly
I
dancing?
always loved dancing. I mean, when I was younger, I did like ballet and I did tap and I did jazz and stuff like that. And I did ballet for quite a while. And then I got to this point when maybe I was 12 or 13 where it just started to feel too rigid for me. And that's another thing that I really love about belly dancing, is there's so much room for creative expression and for you to move your body in just these very sinuous, sensual ways that it just allows you to express yourself through your body.
Yeah. Oh, and by the way, talking about the benefits of the body and everything, how about the knees and the joints? Are they okay? Like, is there like an exercise that is soft or gentle on the knees, especially for older women?
Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, the cool thing about belly dance is it's literally no impact. There's no jumping. So it's literally no impact dance. And by strengthening your core, your back, your hips, it can protect your entire body. But it's very easy on the joints. And I also give a lot of important safety tips in my programs, with certain moves that could maybe trigger pain or something, to make sure that you stay safe and injury free as you're belly dancing.
That's great. Okay. I have a question. I mean, you're not a doctor, but I know, but because I have someone in my family who had this kind of issue, she's a bit older, and so she got an operation for this, and it really helped her a lot. She wasn't wearing anymore, not that, but something,
right,
yeah, to help. Yeah, and she was able to laugh as she wanted, like before now. So I'm thinking, like I say, I know you're not a doctor, but I'm thinking, do you think that if she would have done belly dancing, she would have maybe not needed that operation?
Well, it's hard to say, because it really depends on the individual woman, the severity of her issue. But I'll say this, it's definitely worth a try before doing surgery. Because what if you could take care of that problem without having to go the surgical route? I think for most women, they would prefer that. And, within 4 weeks of practicing for 10 to 20 minutes a day, you'll have a very good idea if this is going to help you or not. So it's something that you can get clarity on pretty quickly. But I did have a student of mine that I worked with one-on-one. We did one-on-one coaching together. And her doctor told her that the only way to solve her problem was to get surgery. But she did not want to go the surgical route. And she also would have had to have taken off a lot of time from work, like 6 weeks or something like that. And her doctor also told her that, it might not even last forever. She might have to go do it again. So for all those reasons, she didn't want to do it. So we worked together, and it took longer than 4 weeks. It took months, but she got to the point where she went out one day. I mean, she wore multiple pads a day prior to
Yeah.
us working
Wow.
together. And she went out one day and she came home and she was like, oh my God, she forgot to wear her pad for the first time in probably a decade. She actually forgot to even wear it. And she didn't have any leaking. So it
Nice.
got to the point where it wasn't even in her mind anymore, and she felt free from it. And she said to me, I'll never forget this. She said, was it really that easy all along? And she
Yeah.
lived with that for so long.
I
And
know.
it didn't take that much for her to get better. So again, I think it's something worth exploring to see if it can help before going that route. I think it couldn't hurt, you know?
Because we have more like back in the days, there was nobody talked about anything, right? Like
Yeah.
I remember my grandma and her sisters, they all had this problem. They're all leaking all the time, and then I remember my cousins or they would make jokes and they would start laughing and they would be like, don't pee yourself.
Mhm.
And they would
Yes.
just,
Right.
but that was it, that was the reality. And you're getting older, they're already in their 60s and like that had many children, and that just people accept it or would go to the surgery route, which should be like, okay, it's the only way to solve it. But nowadays, and with things like that, it's just I can't get it's just the fact that we can have fun and dance and do that instead of those boring exercises from like pelvic
I
therapy
know.
sessions, because I had to do that after my third child. Huge. My baby he was like 9.5 pounds. So, and third vaginal birth. So you can imagine. So I went right away to a pelvic floor therapist. I mean, she helped me a lot, but now thinking about it, I think definitely doing something fun like belly dancing. Yes. 100%.
Yeah. And I am all for pelvic floor physical therapy. I know that it's helped a lot of people. And, it's also something, if you are seeing a pelvic floor physical therapist, to do these as home exercises along with what you're doing in there can be very beneficial.
Both of them combined. Yeah.
Yeah. Like I have a teacher certification program where I teach people how to teach my Bellydance Solution method to people. And I had a pelvic floor physical therapist join the last time I launched it. So she can work with her clients and teach them some of these movements to do at home instead of the more traditional exercises that are not as fun.
Yeah, that's a great idea. Great combination.
Yeah, it is.
That's why, I'm very happy we talk about this, because I don't think a lot of people know about this. I mean, I didn't, and I don't think any of my friends do. So I'm very happy that we're having this conversation and that we can share that big message, because like Silvia said, it's something we never talk about, like menopause, premenopause, things like that. We never talk about that.
Right. Right. I know. Well, hopefully that's changing. And I feel like it's becoming a movement. Like I see a lot more on social media around, menopause, hormonal stuff. So I think we're starting to get more in conversation about these things out in the open so that women can feel empowered and resourceful.
Yeah.
Is there like a big myth about belly dancing that you want to tell people this is not true?
Myths? Yeah. I mean, one myth that I've experienced throughout the years doing this professionally is that, I've had so many people compare it with like stripping, or that it's all about being sexy. And it's really not about that. To me, I say belly dance is not a spectator sport. For example, stripping, let's say, and I'm not knocking it, whatever. I have no judgment against it. But somebody who is stripping, their main point is to create a response in their audience.
Yeah.
Whereas when you're belly dancing, it's about you. It's not about evoking a response in any other person. It's you for you. You are the subject. You're not the object.
Okay.
So this is something that I want women to know is like, it's for your own empowerment.
Okay.
Mhm.
And it's for you to connect with your own energy and however you want to experience that, whatever sensuality or sexuality or feminine energy, whatever it means to you, however you want to cultivate it in yourself for yourself, not for anybody else.
I always felt like that when I dance. I can dance alone. I don't need somebody to dance with me salsa or whatever. I can dance alone. I don't need anyone. And sometimes my friends are like, "Are you gonna go dance alone on the the dance floor?" Like, I don't care. I'm dancing for me. I love
Yeah,
dancing. I
right.
love it. It's good for my soul. It's good for my mind. Good for the body. I don't care if people are
Exactly.
watching. I really don't care. So yeah, I absolutely
And
get
that's
what you
the
said.
right attitude. That's the kind of attitude that allows you to get the most joy out of it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And that's the point. I think at the end of the day is joy.
Yes.
Yes, yes. Wow, that was a great conversation. So I loved it. Learned so much, and I can't wait to see the reaction from the listeners because I'm
Cool.
sure they're gonna
Me
love
too.
it. Yes.
Oh yeah.
Very nice.
Awesome.
So if they want to contact you, where can they find you? Are you on Instagram? You have a website, right?
Yeah. I'm on Instagram, the Bellydance Solution or the Bellydance Solution. It's also the bellydancesolution.com. My rebounder workout is bellydancebounce.com. And I have a membership program that isn't related to pelvic floor. It's just a learn belly dance program called it's femininefireofficial.com.
Okay. We make sure to
Okay.
put everything in the show notes and with the links, and
Great.
people can just click on it and join any of your programs. And I'm sure they will be very,
Perfect.
very happy about it.
Oh
Awesome.
yeah.
Awesome.
Should show
Yeah.
that to my mom.
Me too.
To be
Yeah.
Me too.
I
Yeah.
mean,
Yeah.
they're
Definitely. Yeah.
literally, you can start this in your 70s, 100%.
That's amazing.
Music to my ear.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have a
Totally.
solution.
Yes.
Well, thank you,
yes.
Jennifer. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. I'm so grateful to be here today. Thanks for helping me to spread the word of a fun way to help bladder leaking.
Oh yeah.
Thank you. Thank you.
Sharing.
We
Thank
enjoyed a
you so
lot.
much. Thank you.
All right. Bye guys. See you next time. Take care.
Bye.
Thank you for tuning in to High Vibes and a Mic. Until next time, keep learning, growing, and exploring. Don't forget to follow us on Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube.